Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Garten of Banban 8, the new chapter coming very soon, and also the most talked about horror series out there. In this video, we'll go through the latest official news about the mobile version of the game. Yes, that's right, Garten of Banban 8 is also coming to smartphones, but be careful because not all the news is good. One of the developers, FARIS, has posted new official messages directly on Discord where he revealed very important information about the mobile release of this 8th chapter. Some things will make us smile, others on the other hand might make us raise an eyebrow. But before we begin, don't forget, if you're a fan of Garten of Banban and you don't want to miss any updates, the craziest theories or the darkest announcements, subscribe to the channel and leave a big like on this video. This helps me a lot and allows me to bring you more content about this saga that, let's be honest, never stops surprising us. So sit back, listen carefully and get ready, because we're about to read together FARIS' new messages that might change everything we thought about the mobile version of this highly anticipated Chapter 8. Before we dive into reading the official messages, let's start with a key point that will surely calm down many players, especially those who only play on smartphones. The mobile version of Chapter 8 has been officially confirmed. Yes, you heard that right. Even though there were a lot of doubts and concerns within the community, we can finally say that the mobile port has not been cancelled nor put aside. In fact, it is in development. Many users were afraid that Chapter 8 would never make it to mobile devices, and their concerns were actually very understandable. First of all, this new chapter is much more complex compared to the previous ones. We're talking about much larger environments, characters with more advanced animations, new gameplay mechanics, and an overall graphic quality that has seriously taken a big step forward. All of these elements led many fans to believe that it would be impossible to adapt such a large and technically advanced chapter to a smartphone, especially on low or mid-range devices. But no! The developers wanted to reassure fans directly on Discord, and in particular FARIS wrote some very clear and specific messages about it. Not only does he confirm that the mobile version of Chapter 8 will exist, but in the messages we're about to read, he also gives us some very interesting details about the development, so don't panic. If you're playing on Android or iPhone, you can relax. Chapter 8 is coming for you too, but now it's time to see what FARIS actually wrote. Because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's both good news, but also some bad surprises that might not make everyone happy. But let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into the first official message that was posted on Discord. Pay close attention, because from this moment on, every word matters. And now we finally begin with the first official message written by FARIS on Discord. A very important message that clears up once and for all the question about the mobile version of Chapter 8. The full message that FARIS wrote is the following: it'll be on mobile but later than PC. It's a much bigger and complex game, so not as easy to port. This message officially confirms that the mobile version is coming, and it has been officially approved and confirmed by the team. So all those doubts that were circulating in the past few days, all those theories saying Chapter 8 would remain exclusive to PC, were unfounded. The mobile version is coming, it has not been cancelled. But as I mentioned earlier, there's also a bad piece of news mixed in with all this excitement. FARIS clearly states that the mobile port will arrive later than the PC version. And be careful, this is not just a choice, but a technical necessity due to the complexity of Chapter 8. In fact, as the developer himself says, this chapter is much larger and more complicated than the previous ones. The environments are bigger, the graphic assets are heavier, the animations are more detailed, and there are probably also new mechanics or scripts that require more processing power and optimization. For this reason, adapting all of that to a smartphone is not easy at all. In the past chapters, as we've seen, the mobile version would be released just a few days after the PC version, at most 1 week, sometimes even less. But this time, because of the technical complexity of Chapter 8, the waiting time will be longer. How long will we have to wait? Well, even though FARIS didn't give an exact date, I don't think we'll be waiting that long. I don't believe it'll take months, or even many weeks. It'll probably just be a 2 or 3 week wait after the PC release before Chapter 8 lands on Android and iPhone too. Of course, I'll keep you updated right here on the channel with every new official message, leak or clue, so don't miss the next videos. Now let's move on to the next message. Actually, the message I'm about to show you isn't brand new, but it's still very important because it's directly related to the mobile version of Chapter 8. And guess what? This time we have some good news. Here's what FARIS wrote. Mobile is half the price of the Steam and console versions. And there it is, the positive news we've been waiting for. We're talking about the price, which is one of the most important things when it comes to mobile games. Those who've been following the Banban series from the beginning already know that the mobile versions of the previous chapters have always been cheaper than the PC and console versions, with two exceptions, Chapter 1 and Chapter 0, which are free on both PC and mobile. So yes, we may have to wait more days after the official release on PC, but in exchange, we'll have a much lower price, which is definitely a nice bonus. Let's take an example. If Chapter 8 comes out on Steam for €10, the smartphone version would cost €5. And honestly, I think it might even be less than €5. Mobile games, as we all know, usually have lower prices. It's rare for a mobile game to go over €5. And in the case of Garten of Banban, the developers have always tried to keep the prices accessible, especially for mobile players who make up a large part of the community. So yes, the wait will be longer, but it will also be cheaper. And for those who don't have a gaming PC or a console, knowing they can still play Chapter 8 on their phone while spending half the price, well, that's not bad at all. And remember, as soon as we have official info on the exact price of Chapter 8 on Google Play or the App Store, I'll update you right here on the channel. But we're not done yet, because there's still one last message we need to read together. And now let's move on to one last message which was posted more recently and once again talks about the mobile version of Chapter 8. This time FARIS shared an interesting thought while replying to some users who were complaining that mobile players always have to wait longer than those on PC. Mobile players actually have more advantages compared to PC players. Let's start with a fundamental point. Mobile games cost much less, and in many cases, they're even completely free. And if we look at the mobile market in general, most games on Google Play or the App Store never go beyond €5, and there are often discounts, promotions, or free versions with optional in-app purchases. Meanwhile, for those who play on PC, the situation is very different. Most titles, even indie or mid-tier games, are paid. But that's not all. Another huge advantage of mobile gaming is convenience. With our smartphone in our pocket, we can play anywhere and anytime. On the bus, on the train, at the park, or simply while waiting for a friend. On the other hand, to play on PC, you need to be at home or in the office, or carry around a laptop, which still isn't the most practical thing to use on the go. And even if you have a gaming laptop, keep in mind that battery life drops much faster when playing, and you don't always have a power outlet available. So yes, it's true that mobile players have to wait a few more days, but they can then enjoy the game with more freedom, at a lower cost, and without the need for complex or expensive hardware. Of course, it's also fair to say that PCs have their own advantages and shouldn't be underestimated. A gaming computer has much more powerful components compared to a smartphone. Dedicated graphics cards, high-performance CPUs, fast RAM, all of which allow you to play at a higher resolution with much better graphics, advanced effects, real-time shadows, more detailed textures, and so on. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.